Amy, last week you told us about centering in chaos. This week, what is your message for us?
The message is about being an entrepreneur and using that with your art. So I'm very excited to help artists really think more entrepreneurially. I think a lot of them do, but I really want to help them. So I have a quote from Working for Good I'd like to read.
Please, thank you.
It's entrepreneurs of meaning. Business is a creative and therefore spiritual endeavor. Great entrepreneurs enter the field of business in the same way great artists enter the field of art. With their business creation, entrepreneurs express their spiritual desire for self-realization, evolutionary passion for self-fulfillment, and creative vision of a new world. The entrepreneur's business is their art. The creation of business is as creative as any creation in art. In fact, building a business may be the most creative human activity.
Sometimes, as I feel, I know a little bit about a lot of things, and I know enough to get me into trouble. Because,
but you do it so well.
I try. But it's so easy to get caught up when we are, as artists, or when we're passionate about something. If you're sculpting, I mean, you can be there for hours. If I'm playing on the piano, I can just get lost for hours. And I'm sure, as Quinn will attest, I'm sure that even when writing poetry or even going to dance and practicing, we can get lost in that. And it's a different part of us. It comes from deep inside, and it's just so satisfying when we do it. But then, if we want to get our art out to the public, we have to have a website, and we have to do the social networking, and we have to have a business plan, and that's where some of us get into trouble. So how can you help us? Please help us.
Well, Lisa Lynn, she's a world-renowned Celtic harpist, and she and I met at the City of Hope and started doing work together. And she totally created her own career. She liked to, from the time she was really young, she said, I wrote my own fairy tale, literally. She would sit down and write, this is how I want things to go. And one of the things she always said to me, and still continues to, she said, find people who are doing it right and help them do it better. So, maybe you don't need to have a website. Maybe you dovetail on somebody else's website.
Oh.
Maybe you don't need to know about social media. Maybe you find somebody who's really good, so you help them in their cause. Like with Lisa, she started, how can I take my art and find a way to get it into culture? So one of the things, so many great things, it's lisalynn.com. One of the things she did, she created this song of lullabies. And through her work with City of Hope, we work with cancer patients, doing workshops for them, really fabulous work. Well, they just loved her, and every Tuesday she'd have a workshop in the lobby at the City of Hope.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and bringing people, and it was really a fabulous program. And so she creates this CD of lullabies, and now Kaiser, through all her connections, she does a lot of speaking and performing in the cancer arena at all kinds of concerts and conferences. So now they buy hundreds of her baby CD, Kaiser does, every month to give to women who just had a baby.
Oh my gosh.
So they market it. She doesn't need to market that, right? She just sells it to them. That's just one idea.
That's great.
So it's like about, don't get yourself all freaked out about I have to be knowledgeable in this and that and the other. It's like, no, you have to be really good at what you do, and you need to find partners that within an organization. I talked about being entrepreneurs, which are people who are, they're fire starters. They make things happen, but they need detail people.
Yes.
They need people that that are good at that. So everybody needs to do, 100% what they're really good at. And so you partner up with the right people. But it's finding people who are doing it really well, and you help them do it better. Don't partner up with people who don't know what the heck they're doing, because you're all going to be lost in the forest together, which that may be fun. But
for a while.
For a while.
Till you run out of food.
So and lots of examples about that. And last, we'll talk about intrapreneurs, which are people who have an entrepreneurial spirit and do it within the context of an organization.
Okay.
Like for me, I was a contract negotiator for the Department of Defense, but I had this calling to do some writing. I had contracts that were 1,000 pages. That was some really boring stuff. That was not a lot of fun writing. So I thought, and then there was a newsletter, the Missileer. And so I went to them and said, I think somebody needs to help us with like ethics and different things. And they said, you want to write an article? I'm like, oh crap. And I was like, okay, you want to have a column? Okay. So it became part of my job. And so it wasn't separate. And so that's what a good, and when you think entrepreneurially, and you do it as an entrepreneur, you do it within the context of an organization. And then we talk about, Courtney, the president of the foundation, about entrepreneurs. And my friend, you're definitely an entrepreneur. And as a person that has an entrepreneurial spirit and takes it into the nonprofit world.
Bottom line is I want everybody out there to think about their art and what they're really good at, and find somebody who's doing really well, and what's one way you could do a picture for them, or bring a song to them, or help put music to their words. So find a way that you can take your art and advance it, and find a way to make a good living.